Yay.
I'm done.
Okay. Next, we'll go to law and licensing. The committee chair is Michelle Bolter. Are you prepared? Okay, I'll turn your,
Okay, so we only have 2 items of action for the board. Item 10.2, external data request. Motion for the board is that the committee moves that the board approve the external data request of Allison Kozad, Ohio State Legislature, for aggregate counts of online school participation.
okay, the motion before the board is the board approve the internal data request for Alazan Kozad, Ohio State Legislature, for aggregate counts of online school participation. Discussion to the motion. Vice Chair Ellis?
I apologize, Chair. If you will, I just wanted to have a general about the Law and Licensing Committee action, not specific to this action item. I just wanted to make sure board members understood that. So that if you look at the agenda, there's like 6 or 7 actionable items. They just didn't have any action coming out of board. So board members are able to move if something didn't come out of committee, just so everyone's understanding that.
Okay, so we're starting on 10.2. So I
Right.
can go to
That's the first one.
10.3,
Right.
which doesn't have action, so we'll walk through it.
Right, I was
Okay.
going to, but there was only 2
Yeah,
that have action.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure thank you for that update. I'll repeat the motion that's come from the committee, and that is that the board approve the internal data request for Allison Kozad, Ohio State Legislature, for aggregate counts of online school participation. Any further discussion to the motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting was unanimous. Please continue.
Okay, next item is 10.3, standards for pedagogical performance assessment. It was just a committee action to have staff readdress some of the language and taking into consideration public comment that we had received from our committee. So there'll be some cleanup to that rule. 10.4, R277-308, new teacher induction, and there's a lot to read. And then motion for the board is that the committee moves that the board approve R277-308, draft 4, on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve R277-308, draft 4, on second and final reading. Discussion to the motion. Board Member Hanson.
Hi, I have an amendment, and it's in draft 5 there.
Okay, can we
And
have
so I
that?
don't know if you want a motion to, an amendment to approve draft 5, or
Well,
if you
right-
want to
right.
look at the, how do you want to go about
Okay,
it?
this is what we do. We have a motion on draft 4. If you want to amend that to go to draft 5, then you can do that right now. We'll invite, did Angie help with that? So we
Yeah.
should get it up here and on the board.
Yep.
So do you have
And-
your?
And so that's my motion, that we go to R277-308, draft 5.
To amend it, we have a second from Board Member Stokes. Do you want to speak to that motion?
There was a change that took place in committee that the superintendents asked for, and they reconsidered that change yesterday and have some language to add. So, and they did that at my request, so.
Okay, the amendment is to substitute draft 5 in place of draft 4. Any further discussion to the motion? Board
If
Member Lear?
Angie-
Oh, well, hold it, hang on.
I'd
Got
like to
this
know
all
what the
goofed up.
changes are.
Okay, Board Member Cannon, sorry. Board Member Lear, is your light on for a reason?
I had the same question.
Okay.
We all have the same question. We just would like Board Member Hanson to address her amendments and let us know what they do.
Okay, I think Angie has,
Angie. Okay,
has it
Angie.
up there. Yeah, it's a very simple one word. It's right there. Oh, it's 4 words, so sorry. So on line 30, Part of their induction for a new teacher, the idea was that they would have a documented professional learning plan. The question was whether it was going to be individualized for each teacher, or if it was just going to be the same for each teacher. I think everybody who spoke in favor of it being individualized for each teacher, but the superintendents had concerns about that. And so that's when I saw the video, and I asked the superintendent's group that gets together and discusses the rules if they would look at that again. And they did, and this is the language they came up with that they feel comfortable with, that would give it probably an individual plan, but they feel comfortable with this language. So that's why we're asking that it say a documented professional learning plan appropriate for each educator, so that it can be individualized for each educator instead of just whatever plan.
Okay. Again, I'll repeat the proposed amendment to the motion, and that's to substitute draft 5 for draft 4. Any other discussions on the amendment? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. All in favor to the amendment of substituting draft 5 for draft 4, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. The motion passed for the amendment. So now we have the amended motion, and that is, that's before the board, is that the board approve R277-308 draft 5 on second and final reading. Any discussion to the motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting is unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, Chair Bolter.
Okay, 10.5, R277-705. This one's will be coming back, 707, sorry. This will be coming back to committee to just, for some definitions and address some concerns that were brought up during our discussion. R277, item 10.6, R277-726 is also coming back to committee to also look at different concerns. 10.7, R277-700. This rule was addressed in the motion for R277-726, so it will be coming back as well. 10.1, R277-401, child abuse and neglect. We just directed staff to review the provisions of this rule and then make recommendations for an updated rule. And then 10.9, R277-100. This is just the definitions, and we had a good discussion, and we were able to give some suggestions to staff, and that rule's coming back, I believe, tomorrow. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Chair Bolter. I'm not seeing any other questions regarding lawn licensing committee,